So last year on November 5th, I got into a very bad car accident. That is what ultimately caused me to spiral in active addiction. If it weren't for that event, I would probably not be here today. I had so much free time, I couldn't get to work, I was injured severely. All I knew was how to self-medicate. It was a very fast downward spiral to the point to where there was an emergency detention order signed by the judge. Cops came to get me at my house. They took me to the hospital. There wasn't room at the psych ward in my city. They put me in the back of an ambulance in a gurney, drove me 4 hours away to Austin, Texas to a psych ward there. I was there for a total of like 8 days. By the time I was supposed to be released, they were going to buy me a Greyhound bus ticket to go back to Corpus Christi. Called my family. They said if I were to come back home, I'd be arrested because there was a protective order over my mom's house, over my grandma's house 45 minutes away, over my brother's school, over the church that they went to. I would be arrested if I went there. So I was considering having my friend come pick me up from the bus stop and just going and staying over there so I could continue to get do what I wanted to do. I really did not want to go back to jail. I called my family that lives out here and they said, we've been informed that you've been using again. We can't have that here. You can check out a homeless shelter. I was at this crossroads and I'm like, okay, so I either go to a homeless shelter here in Austin, Texas with people I don't know so that I can hopefully get and be on the streets, or I try to go back home, wait out the protective order, hang out with my friend, and then somehow try to find a way to go back home even though my family does not want me there. I was all twacked out on, like, nobody wanted to be around that. It was the lowest point in my addiction. I didn't want to do either of those. Those were my only two options. I was very emotional about it. It was very hard to hear that from my family, but understandable now. I prayed. Got to the point to where it was like, it's literally out of my control. My emotions aren't going to help me in this case. At that point, I was like, all right, you figure it out because there's nothing I can do. I know you're not gonna let me go to a homeless shelter or get arrested again. Like, there has to be a better option. I'll literally do anything. Such a low point in my life that I meant it when I said I will do anything. This was such a pivotal moment in my life. A miracle, a prayer answered. The very next phone call that I got was to do an intake with a detox out here, and they said that they would fly me out to their facility. I could stay for 35 days and go from there. I took that shit. I was happy with it, relieved that I didn't have to go to a homeless shelter with people I don't know and fucking try to survive on the streets of Austin, Texas, or go back to jail. I didn't care if it meant I had to give up substances for 35 days. At the time, I didn't think that that would be the last time I got. This ended up being in early February. It was a little bit after my car accident. I did drink at the airport. I had a couple beers, missed my first flight, had to get that one rescheduled, and then I was able to get on and get to the facility. Stayed there, did the damn thing. While I was there, I was telling people about this story, how I got there. I got emotional about it. I remember I was saying, like, I need to want this, and I want to want this. I want to want sobriety, but I'm not quite there yet. I wasn't quite there yet in the first 30 days. Eventually, it happened. Something that helped me to want it for myself and to do it for myself was saying and believing that being sober is the only way I can accomplish my dreams. There's no way that I can pursue my creative passion, no way that this is going to take off if I continue to be strung the fuck out on drugs. That was a really big motivating factor for me. I was using for 8 years since I was 14, started doing when I was 15, selling the whole nine, like literally 15 going on 30. There was no reason I needed to be living like that at such a young age, but I did. I've done it all. At this point, I've had a season with everything. I've done it all. Like, I'm lucky to be here. After my first 35 days there, decided that I wanted to have aftercare, like further treatment. Once I was done there, I was able to get into a sober living. I'm still in an IOP program. I now have a sponsor working through the steps. I have to be active working a program every single day to maintain my recovery, to maintain my sobriety. It is going to be a lifelong dedication to working in the program. I know that I'm closer to my next hit than I am to my long-term recovery. For sobriety, I have to put in all the work because I'm closer to my next relapse than I am to this. Ultimately, this is how I ended up getting into recovery and finding sobriety. I am now almost 7 months sober, which is the longest sober time I've ever had. I feel like a completely new person. My life has taken a complete 180 turn. The promises of the blessings from the program are true. I'm a completely new person. The last 8 years feels like a past life. Some of the things I can't even believe that I did because it's not me anymore. This is a miracle in itself. I feel like a walking testimony.